Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith, and in today's video, we are going to be comparing three types of what I would consider to be high-end or upper-end track and switches. Now, one very popular track that is currently out there and their switches is not in this comparison, and I'll be honest with you, the reason why is simply that I felt that that was more of an entry-level track and there was no need to go ahead and compare that track. I'm not saying that it's a bad track, I just felt that it was an entry-level track and really wasn't a fair comparison. So we're going to go ahead and compare three types of tracks all together, a pair of switches. I didn't have one for the third track, and that's okay. It's pretty popular, everybody knows about it anyway. But let's go ahead and get into today's video. One of the things I want to be upfront about is that Micro Engineering is sponsoring today's video. They're the ones that supplied our track for this comparison test, as well as switches. And so we're going to go ahead and review everything, but I wanted to let you know that they are the sponsor of today's video. They also sponsor our model railroad. So I hope this video, and the purpose of this video, is to help you make an informed decision. I realize that some folks have to do things on cost, but if you can afford the Micro Engineering, I got to tell you, it's a cut above the rest. So, not sure. I will tell you that two pieces of FlexTrack here are used, and one is brand new, but that still shouldn't make a difference. As far as the comparison goes, you might be able to say, well, you know, used, it's not going to look as good, but yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm not going to buy into that one. It's still a great comparison. And so here's our Micro Engineering, here's our Pico, and here is our Shinohara. Now, I don't know if I pronounced that right or not, but that's how I pronounce it. Don't beat me up if I'm wrong. You know, I'm not trying to purposely mispronounce it, but and at any rate, you get the idea. The Micro Engineering is just a cut above. If we look straight down on it, you can see the difference in the ties. And what I mean by the difference in the ties is these ties right here on the Micro Engineering are far more prototypically correct. They really are. So here's a kind of a different view, but a lot of guys in HO scale, guys and gals in HO scale that like Pico. There's Pico right there. This is Shinohara right there, which also I believe made Walthers, but I'm not 100% accurate on that, so don't quote me on that. And here's Micro Engineering. Now, years ago, Shinohara was kind of the standard for good-looking rail, and you can see it looks good. I'm not saying that it doesn't, and I'm not saying that the Pico doesn't look good either. It looks good. But look at the difference. When you get to Micro Engineering, this is like a whole step above. I'm sorry, guys, but it really is. You know, their price point may not be for everyone, but you know what? In this particular case, I'm a true believer that you get what you pay for. And just look at the quality. Again, Micro Engineering, look at the size of the ties. There's where the rubber really hits the road. The Pico and the Shinohara. Big difference, as you can see. When I look at side profiles and I try to get up close, it is really kind of hard for me, there we go, to kind of zoom in close. But look at the detail on the Micro Engineering. And then if we move to the Pico, and then we move in on the Shinohara. And that's the difference, just kind of looking at side profiles there. By far, Microengineering ranks number one in my book. The Shinohara, I believe that they also made Walthers, but again, don't hold me to that, would probably come in number two. Pico would come in at number three, and I didn't have a piece of Atlas to compare this with, but I've seen enough Atlas and I've used enough Atlas. That would rank number four. So that, again, that's just my ranking and my personal opinion. If I flip over the back side, you'll notice that the spaces on the ties are a lot different. Shinohara, the Pico, Microengineering. Now, what I mean by the spaces are a lot different is there's a lot more gap in between these right here, these flex points, where you need to curve the flex track, than you see here in the Pico. Really has about the least amount of space in between its flex points. And then the Shinohara that you see here. Microengineering by far gives you the greatest amount of flexibility. Now, I think that really helps in, again, one of the decisions for picking Microengineering is the easiness of laying this track down. So I'm going to put these two side by side as a comparison. Let you decide really quick which one you think is which. I have a Microengineering and I have a Shinohara. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so please don't beat me up if I'm not. But I've got them side by side. Now, I didn't have a Pico switch lying around, and I wasn't going to purchase one just to do this. And an Atlas track switch, I think, is self-explanatory. You would easily be able to pick that one out. But if you haven't figured it out by now, the Microengineering is right there. And I think it's so visible in so many different aspects. For starters, if you just look at the ties side by side, just like their flex track, you can see a noticeable difference, not only in a more prototypical correct one here than there. It's just the profile is just so much better. Really, really like how this looks. Also, at the switch, this is snap. So let's see if you can hear that. This snaps into place. So if you want to manually throw the switch, you can. The other nice thing about it is this is DCC ready. So there's nothing that you got to do. If you're a DCC guy, there's nothing that you got to do to this switch. It's DCC ready. The other nice thing about it, and it shows right here in the instructions, is the head block ties can be mounted on either side. So if you're fighting for space and you really need some space with your switches, you can mount this on either side where you're kind of limited there. I also really like the prototypical style switches that come in here as well, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's just more aesthetic than anything else if you're going to be manually throwing things and whatnot. But there is a high-level overview. This switch really sets the bar, as far as I'm concerned, with any other switch manufacturer that's out there. Again, if you just look at the ties, man, they just look so much better. See if I can get a close-up here. All right, so here is our close-up. And we'll move from the Microengineering to the Shinohara switch. And again, just night and day difference. I wish I could let's see if we can sneak this in side by side. There you go. You can see the difference. Wow. It's remarkable. The profiles are just so much better on the microengineering. We'll get up to the points. You can see that there versus this here. The guardrails. Just really, 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 really look great. So really happy with the decision to go with microengineering. I really feel that was a fair and honest comparison. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to throw something down in the comments below. Check out microengineering's link. I also threw that down in the description. Have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.